Meanwhile, in school sports, St. Hilda's Secondary are the new National School Games C Division Girls Floorball champions. They beat Tanjung Katong Secondary 6-5 in a dramatic final at our Tampines hub. Vice-captain Nor Anika Atisha scored the winner with just 46 seconds left, completing a late comeback from a goal down. It is St. Hilda's first ever C Division floorball title. Meanwhile, in the boys' final, Victoria School clinched their 5th straight crown, defeating Sinmin Secondary 8-6. And that's your sports update. I'm Joshua Vong.
Kiss 92 Sports by SPC. Celebrate SG60 at SPC with up to $60,000 in vouchers to be won. Fuel up at SPC, be spotted and win instantly. Plus, get a lucky draw chance with every $50 net spend. Double your rewards with POSB Everyday Card or UOB Cards. Promotion ends 15 September. Terms apply.
You're tuned in to The Big Show's Good Morning Doctor, Healthcare Coverage Edition, brought to you by healthinsured.sg, your trusted online resource that helps you know your coverage before you need it.
Good morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning and welcome to a very special edition of Good Morning Doctor. Today we have with us Raymond Ng, Managing Director from Ray Alliance Financial Advisors, and we also have Teresa, who's, let's see, a mommy.
She is a mommy. She's a mommy of 9-year-old Teddy.
Yeah.
Teresa, we're here to talk a little bit about how your insurance helped you out when Teddy had that very unexpected moment. Can you take us back to that time in late May, like you were saying? What happened with Teddy?
So it was actually the last day of school of term 2, and I received a call from the school to inform us that Teddy fell down and hit his head. There wasn't any clear eyewitnesses to share with us like what happened. So then me and my husband rushed down to school. After we rushed down to school, we brought him home to like get some clothes first in case if he needed to be warded. Then we drove down to Parkway East since it's like very near home and all. Mm-hmm. So over at Parkway East Hospital, we went to the urgent care and we saw like the doctor then, and the doctor did some physical examinations on him, like to look at his eyes, if like everything's okay, check him physically if there's any like physical injuries or like internal bleeding. At the same time to check whether like is he like low on blood sugar and all, which actually like caused the fall. Thereafter, they recommended us to stay in there for observation to make sure there's no like possible concussions.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it must have been awful just getting that call from school just like that.
Absolutely. I mean, what was going through your mind at that point? I mean, apart from the fact that you were thinking about Teddy, were you thinking about, your hospitalization or medical insurance for Teddy?
At a point of time, like what came to mind is that okay, like he needs to get treatment first and all, and like it doesn't matter whether we are going down to a private hospital or like a public hospital, but most importantly is to be like closer to home. Because like he has like food allergies, so like we needed to cook his meals like all the time.
Oh right,
yeah. So it's like that makes the most sense, and so we actually had a hospitalization plan in place for him, like since he was a baby. So like the first choice was to go down to Parkway East, which is like nearest to home.
Was the accident like completely unexpected? I mean, were there any warning signs before this?
No, it was like totally unexpected. Like he went to school like totally well and all, and we didn't expect him to like end up with a fall like during recess.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Raymond, a situation like this, I mean, insurance for adults and insurance for kids, is there a difference?
Actually, there's not much of a difference. But for kids, there are certain limits. And for adults, of course, when you're senior and you're infant, there will be some restrictions and some caps.
Okay.
Right.
And okay.
Let's continue to talk to Raymond and Mommy on The Big Show TV. Here's Keshi with Say on Kiss 92.
So just to go back to you, Teresa, tell us a little bit more about the head injury. Was it serious? I mean, he needed to be admitted, obviously. There were scans, there was monitoring, was there any surgery involved?
Thankfully, there wasn't any surgery involved at all. Like, we did like a couple of scans, all came back clear. So like, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. Did he have to stay in hospital at all?
Yes, he stayed in hospital for 2 days, just to like keep him under like close observation and all. Cause after all, fall on the head, right?
Yeah.
An impact there. So they just needed to make sure that nothing goes wrong in the next like 72 hours.
What a traumatic time it must have been for your husband and yourself. Where were you? You were at home.
Yes, I was at home with
And
my
your husband? Oh, with your husband as
Yes.
well. Okay. Both of you were home.
Raymond, for many parents, I mean, this is obviously a nightmare scenario, right?
Yes.
So, how can health insurance help such situations? Is it claimable under Integrated Shield Plan or Personal Accident Plan for kids?
Okay, for these are two separate classifications. For integrated shield plans, the cover is purely inpatient and pre and post. So as long as the either to an accident or illness lead you to hospitalization, then the policy will be respond. But there again, if there's pre-existing illnesses or there are some condition which are self-inflicted injury, then that is off the book.
Of course.
Right. For personal accident, the coverage purely meant for accidents. The definition will be external, visible, and accidental means. Self-inflicted injury, again, there's exclusion. So, buying an insurance, not that everything is under the sun. So, have to be careful to look at the term and conditions and talk to the advisors.
And have a good insurance agent, right? That will actually tell you all the things in like layman's terms as well.
Also, can private insurance, sorry, Angel.
Yep, no
Can
worries.
private insurance, Raymond, cover things like ambulance rides, A&E visits, or overnight monitoring for head injuries?
Yes. All that will be, if you are talking about ambulance fees and pre and post, then there's a rider, there's a main plan for integrated shield plan. There will be a rider portion, so the rider will come into play. So for ambulance fee and pre and post, pre means before admissions, all the tests will be taken care of. And once it's admitted to as an inpatient, then the whole bill will be covered by 100% subject to the deductible and co-insurance.
I mean, Teresa, there's so much to think about. And obviously, when you're in an emergency situation like that, things like these don't normally come to mind. But when you were rushing Teddy to the hospital, were you concerned about the bills from a private hospital? You know, was that on your mind, or was it more, whether he's okay?
What kind of cover did he have?
So like for ourselves and all, like the bill didn't matter to us so much at the point of time. It was getting the treatment first, making sure there's nothing serious that's going on. In terms of coverage, we had hospitalization, accident plan, as well as our own corporate insurance. But so the building came to our mind for that.
Okay. And you've had Teddy covered since he was a baby.
Yes.
Okay, that was one of the first things.
And how common is that, Raymond, for parents to actually have insurance policies for their children from the time they're babies? Is that a common thing now?
Now, in fact, it's a common thing because in Singapore, we are very lucky. Government has CPF Life. When the child is born, automatically the policy will be in place.
Wow. Okay.
And deducted through the father's account.
Okay.
That is our standard implementations, so that the baby will be covered since born, and is for inpatients. So, of course, most parents will wanted to have some additional cover, so they can add on to the integrated shield plan, or they add on to their personal accident, because infant you can't just buy off the book. So you will write on to the parents' personal accident and give additional covers.
Until what age is that? Because you said you can't buy individual insurance for babies, right? They
Yes.
have to be tagged to the parents till they're how old?
Maybe 6 years old.
6 years, and then they can have their
For
own
1 year
insurance.
old and above, they can be, but because they still can't take care of themselves. That is for accident policy.
Got it. Okay.
For the medical policy, the integrated shield plan, no issue.
Okay. All right.
Just out of curiosity, what's the premium like usually?
The premium is very affordable. Most of the integrated shield plan for the main plan, in actual fact, is all covered within the CPF MediSave utilization, which is up to $300 for the age 40 and below.
Right.
Okay.
So you can deduct from the parents' MediSave account for the integrated shield plan premium. Of course, you want rider is always paid by cash. That is on top of that.
Okay.
Rider usually is maybe $1.50 a day, plus minus for the private hospital like what Teresa have it for Terry.
Okay.
But is this something that the parents will have to opt for when they have
Yes.
the kids?
Most of the time, the CPR Life Plan is embedded. All the PR and Singaporean have to be covered. For the integrated shield plan, the parents can opt for it. Either a basic for the basic hospital, right? I mean restructured hospital, either A ward, B1, B2, or you can opt for private hospitals.
Right.
Okay.
So of course, the premium for private hospital is higher, and recently the premium has inflated. So there's a lot of talk about that in town.
Okay. So there is a big increase in parents getting more insurance for their kids these days.
Yes, because in actual fact, I think most parents love their kid. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing that they want to do. It's not so much on the financial aspect. It's very affordable, but the question is that should there be a mishap and the impact could ruin a family financial
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
situations.
But there are also a lot of parents who just, assume that their kids are covered through their own policy or through MediShield Life.
Yeah,
right?
MediShield Life is good enough for restructured hospital. Basically, if you are not looking at the private admission, but sometimes most parents wanted to give the best to the kid,
Of course, yeah.
right? And they want it immediate near the home, like what Teresa say, and things like that.
Okay. If you have any questions or whatever, you can send it through to our Facebook. All right. We'll be screening for your questions to ask perhaps maybe Raymond any insurance questions that you might have. All right. Going for a traffic update.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE, a vehicle's broken down before the TPE PIE exit. Avoid lane 2. Also on the SLE towards the CTE before the TPE PIE, there is an accident. I'm not sure if both of these are related. And finally, on the AYE towards Tuas, before Tuas West Road, a vehicle's broken down as well. If you spot anything else, 8855
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. This morning our guests are Teresa as well as Raymond Ng. Raymond is the Managing Director at Ray Alliance Financial Advisors. I wonder who's Ray. Ray Alliance Financial Advisors. Must be you.
Ray Hope. Thank you.
Okay, so today we're here and we were talking to Teresa because, there was an unfortunate incident regarding her child, 9-year-old Teddy, who was in school and suddenly fell and hit his head. And so she then, took him to, at that time, what's the name? Parkway East. Yes, Parkway East. And today we're talking about how important it is for your kids to also be covered by medical insurance.
So we were talking a little bit to Teresa about the urgent care center and how Teddy was covered under insurance. But when it comes to the hospital bills, the follow-up consultations, the scans, I mean, everything can add up, little bits all add up. Were you able to make the claims easily through insurance, from your insurance?
It was actually quite fast-free. Like, my insurance agent did a very good job as well. Like, he guided me along the process. All I needed to do was to upload all the different bills, which he asked me to keep the doctor's memo, discharge memo and all onto the app itself. And once it's uploaded on the app, it's done.
So basically, this is a note to everyone, keep all those bills.
Yes.
Right? And then that's what you upload. And how long did it take for the money to come back to you, the process? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay, fair enough.
Would you say you have a good relationship with your insurance agent?
Yes, because I've not really bought any new insurance policies from him recently and all, but he still services me quite well.
Yeah. I think it's very important for people to maintain this relationship with their insurance agent. Because
sure.
I mean, anything can happen at any time, and if you have a good relationship with your insurance agent, he or she will be able to help you, settle the situation a lot quicker and more productively.
And they're on speed dial, right? They're almost like friends, right? You can just get in touch with them. So Raymond, when it comes to insurance plans for children, what kind of plans should parents be looking at? Should it be, the integrated shield plan, the personal accident and critical illness? I mean, as a new parent, you already have so much to think about, diapers and milk and whatnot. Like, what kind of insurance should parents be looking at?
Basically, the first insurance that parents should look at will be the medical coverage.
Okay.
That is sometimes unexpected and through accident or illnesses. Most children in Singapore will be taken care by the Medishield Life, but that's for research hospital admissions. Of course, you can go to private hospital, but then I don't think the coverage will be substantial enough to cover that. The pre and post also not taken care into the Medishield Life itself. So if the parent look for a more comprehensive cover, then they could upgrade. Of course, the budget is something that they could consider. The insurance will be flat from firstborn until maybe 18 years old.
Okay.
After that, then there will be a portfolio underwriting for based on age in the average of every block of 5 or every block of 10. So any time below the age 50, the basic plan wasn't that expensive. But when you're above senior, then the premium could inflate.
Right.
But of course, insurance plan is meant for lifetime. So you can adjust along the line.
Okay.
And then there will be a riders.
So for Teddy's case, was that considered an emergency admission?
Yes.
It was. Was the pre-authorization needed?
No, we didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's continue to talk to Ray and Teresa on the Big Show TV. It's 8:19.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Pootie.
Okay, so the accident with Teddy happened in May, right? And have you changed his policy since then? You know, just in case something else happens? Because usually when an accident happens, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I need to take more precautions for the future. So did that make you and your husband rethink the kind of coverage he had to maybe a better coverage or more coverage?
For now, we are sticking to the same coverage, and of course, like our insurance agent recommended that for their age right now is still like relevant, like the amount being covered.
There's no need to put more money in and all that. Okay, all right. Okay, how long was Teddy in hospital for? You said he was there for observation at least, right?
Yep, he was in for 2 days.
2 days, okay. Did you stay with him?
Yes, I had
You
to stay
had
with him
to,
because,
right?
like, he was below 12. They needed an adult to like stay with him.
Oh, okay, all right, like a chaperone. Okay. How was
All right.
that physically and emotionally for you? Those 48 hours.
Physically, it was okay for me because I wasn't the one who like went through the fall, but emotionally and all, I was really like scared and worried because I mean, it's a fall and you don't know if there's any like repercussions after that, and if like the fall could have actually led to anything more serious.
And how was Teddy doing during the hospital?
The first day was bad because he fell on his head and his head was like hurting. But the second day onwards is like back to normal as though nothing happened.
Oh, okay, kids are so resilient, right?
So he was okay lah. He was, he was fine.
He was fine.
He was
Okay,
fine.
which is good.
Do we know what happened in school? Like how the fall happened, or was it just a trip and fall, or somebody pushed him? No, I'm joking. But you know, like was he climbing? Like what was he doing when he fell?
So it was actually during their active recess. Like they were like playing he was playing basketball with his friends. But I mean, you know, they're 9 years old.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't really like catch what happened.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any clear eyewitnesses to like tell the teachers like what exactly happened. Like all they knew was like, okay, like he fell, he's on the floor.
So it was during the game, and then all of a sudden, next thing they knew, he was on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, all right, happens, right?
I think kids these days are so lucky. They have everything, you know.
Yeah.
During our time, did we have insurance when we were growing up?
No.
Down here, like 8 stitches
Yeah,
under my
here
chin,
as well, me
one
as well.
hole
Yeah.
in my head, because I fell and slipped and went straight at the edge of the fridge, you know.
Yeah.
And then one big hole, blood all over. It's like,
You're still here.
no. I mean, luckily,
Yeah, of
I think
course.
my parents were able to pay for, you know, the stitches and stuff like that. It would have been better if there was insurance. But I think insurance wasn't as sophisticated as it is now. That's why.
That's right.
It was way more difficult.
We're
I don't
talking
think
about
I had insurance.
many years ago. Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of advice can you give parents? Say they don't have insurance for their kids now. You know, they're not newborns. Say they're 12. Let's put Teddy's age as an example. He's 9 years old. They don't have insurance. What would you recommend?
First thing I would recommend that the parents should look at the medical policies, because when they are young, they are paying of health. then it's easier to do the underwritings and everything will be in black. And then you could look at the starter for children's. Possible, most of the parents were wanted to create a saving for educations, but now saving plan, most of the yield wasn't good enough to cover the hospital fees. Then, but there's still some investment plan that can look at for the possible school fee in future. Then you can look at the critical illnesses plan just to enhance in case after inpatient discharged from hospital, then if there are follow-up bills and things like that, like cancer treatments or any other serious illnesses. So that could be a starter for the kid, and you can control it by looking at the limitation of the payment term for the parents' age and things like that.
Right.
Okay.
So there are a lot of flexibility nowadays for the new plans.
Okay.
But beyond hospitalization, are there plans to support things like follow-up scans, rehab, or consultations with specialists?
Yes, most of the integrated shield plan will cover the pre and the post, as I mentioned earlier. The post will be what you mentioned, the follow-up scan and things like that. But there again, you have to look at the term and condition of the policy, whichever come from. If you look for the insurance planner, insurer specialist planner, then the follow-up cover could be about 12 months. But if it's on a planner, then it could be range for 90 days or 180 days, so on and so forth. So the follow-up, the scan, the treatment, all that is inclusive. But you have to look at the deductible or the co-insurance either. So there's a certain bill size the policyholder got to fork out from the pockets.
I've always found insurance so complicated.
I know.
You know, I'm listening to all this and I don't know how you can keep all that in your head and know exactly what's happening. Because I'm just like, I'll just leave it to my insurance
It's
agent.
his bread and butter. That's
I
why.
know.
But for I think the rest of us, if we want to find out more about insurance and all that, we can log on to healthinsure.sg.
Yeah, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that finds insurance so complicated.
No, that's why we need to be close to our insurance agents. Any question or whatever, either text, call, or meet up for coffee.
And you need to trust them, right? That they're not just making money off you, right? Yeah.
It's true. That's why only the dedicated insurance agents will stay.
Yeah.
You know, how long have you been doing insurance already, Ray?
46 years.
There.
46 years. Wow.
See?
Yeah.
46 years.
You were talking. I know.
Talk until your voice a bit raspy today. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Either that or last night you went karaoke.
No, I was on a remission.
Oh,
so
really?
my throat was dry. That's why. That's the reason. So sorry for that.
What remission?
No,
What
remission of what?
Yeah, I suffered nose cancer since January this year.
Sorry to hear.
Oh my God, bad joke then.
Don't worry, that's okay. I'm okay.
You're
I'm
in
mental
remission
positive,
now?
yes.
But okay, it's still quite sexy sounding. Right?
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like Rock Stewart, isn't it?
That's why we must do
And
karaoke
insurance is
together.
important for that basic.
Yeah. Okay. You're in remission. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well done.
Brilliant.
We got traffic.
And what's
coming.
your coverage like? Wait, okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Weatherman, is it raining out there?
It is, they say it's supposed to rain.
Okay.
But I checked it just now. There was no
Still
rain.
clear?
There's a little bit of sunshine coming through.
The only reason I ask is because there are quite a number of accidents, specifically on the SLE. Now, this looks like a big one. If you're going to go down the SLE, please don't. This is in the direction of the CTE before the TPE PIE exit. Avoid lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once again, do not head down the SLE towards the CTE before the TPE PIE exit. If you're already on that stretch, we would suggest, trying to get out of that stretch right now. It's all over my page. If you have any other news for us, 8855509020.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's Good Morning Doctor Day, and we have been speaking to the Managing Director of Ray Alliance Financial Advisors, Mr. Raymond Ng, and Teresa as well. And I want to thank Teresa for sharing your story and what your 9-year-old son Teddy went through, because I think this is very, very useful for parents who have been thinking about getting perhaps maybe some extra coverage for their children. And today, I'm sure, after listening to you, they will.
Yeah, for sure. Just a little recap. 9-year-old Teddy was in school. It was an ordinary day playing basketball. Suddenly he fell and he was on the floor and he had hit his head. So Teresa and her husband were of course panicking, but I'm sure very, very glad also that he was fine and insurance covered it. If you could tell parents listening in anything at all from your experience, what would you say?
I would say don't wait to get personal accident plan insurance as well as hospitalization plan insurance, because you never know when you actually need it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So today we covered insurance for your kids. For those of you who missed last week's edition of Good Morning Doctor, oh my God, it was like, for me, I was getting goosebumps. I was because it was major sharing by Carol Lynn, who really went through a lot
in a short time.
Yeah, my
bones
goodness.
sticking out and everything.
It was so scary, but we are so happy that Teddy is completely fine.
Yeah. And Raymond, if there's anything that you want someone listening in to remember or take away from today's session with us, what would you say?
I would say that they should relook at the insurance portfolio, the coverage for the family as well as the children. If they miss anything, just please talk to their personal financial advisor for their advice.
Okay,
right.
Thank you very much.
Or log on to healthinsured.sg or can look for Raymond as well.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
From Ray Alliance Financial Advisors, Raymond is the managing director. Thank you very much, Raymond, for coming in.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Big Show's Good Morning Doctor.
All right, we're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV with our second bunch of guests. And they are from Waken.com. We have Germaine Neo, who's the senior interior designer at Waken.com, as well as Derrius Ko, who's the team manager at Waken.com. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Good morning, guys. So let's talk about renovation. A lot of news out there these days is about people reselling their apartments. You know, we've seen prices go through the roof. A lot of people are buying it for investment, right? So when it comes to buying a new place and then doing your renovations, are you renovating just in case you want to sell? You know, do you need to take that into consideration? Because nowadays everyone's like breaking down all the walls. You know, it's an open plan. Should you consider who's going to be buying it next?
I mean, if you are planning to actually sell the place in the next 5 years, then of course when it comes to us, we advise accordingly. So in terms of like hacking down of walls and then doing too extensive renovations it might not be a proper way to do it for the next owners, for the next buyers. So we try to go into more minimalist style in a way. We minimize on all the hacking work. So in the next buyer, when they get the place, they will save on the renovation. Also, that is one of the factors that will actually help them to.
And this is for both HDB and private,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
okay.
And Germaine is an interior designer.
Yeah, so I do think that when owners come to us, quite often they will, like let's say for resale units, for example, they do come to us with like, oh, okay, actually the kitchen and the toilets are quite well done already. We might not need to actually re-renovate it. So they are able to refocus their budget on other areas of the renovation. So maybe more investing in the bedrooms, for example, or living rooms. So I do think that especially young homeowners these days, they are looking at homes that are kind of like have this kind of resale value when they are looking at renovations as well.
Okay. But these days, I mean, the sizes of homes are significantly smaller than years ago.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, let's say, if you're talking about a single person or maybe a couple with no kids, I think on average, based on my observation, you know, the houses that they buy, which are not like HDB, of course, the HDB flats are slightly bigger, but if they buy private, usually it's between 700 square feet to maybe 1,000 for a couple with no kids. I mean, how much can they spend on renovation if it's a small house?
Honestly, the range really goes quite wide. So it really depends on how much work they are looking to have done. So in, let's say, like a bachelor pad, for example. So some people, they actually renovate it really extensively into like maybe fully like a game room, like a very men's pad. So obviously the renovation cost would go a lot higher for there.
Right.
But some people prefer to keep it simple, keep it quite modular with like loose furnishing. So then renovation costs would definitely be on the lower end for them. Yeah.
Tell me you're an expert when it comes to creating a man cave or a bachelor pad.
For sure.
He's looking because
I'm about to start actually. My tenant moves out of my house in
this month,
7 days actually. And I'm looking for a specialist bachelor pad designer.
Yeah. Well, there you go. She's right here.
Yeah. The last time I renovated my house was about 13 years ago, so it's high time
it's due.
I do it again.
But having said that, yesterday in the news they were talking about how young first-time homeowners are actually looking at the older flats, even with 50 years left. You know, it's not throwing people off because they're like, they are not planning to have kids, nobody to pass it on, so they're looking at the bigger plan apartments now as well, the older flats that are out there,
which are nice actually.
They are very
the older
nice.
flats are nice
because they're big. They're coming out for traffic.
Okay.
Kiss 92 92 traffic.
Just an update on that situation on the SLE. If you're planning to head down that stretch heading towards the CTE, I'd suggest finding an alternative route. Before the TPE PIE exit, an accident has been reported, this time going all the way back to Mandai Avenue. Lanes 1, 2, 3 and 4 should be avoided. All 4 lanes, 4 lanes on the SLE are being taken up by an accident. Also on the CTE towards the AYE before Balestier Road, a vehicle has broken down. And finally on the PIE towards Tuas before Jurong Canal Drive, an accident. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guests for this morning, Germaine Neo, Senior Interior Designer at Waken.com, as well as the Team Manager of Waken.com, Derrius Ko. Once again, welcome, guys.
Good morning, guys. I'd like to talk about upcoming or current design trends, because I know minimalist has been around for a while. You know, is it still cool to have that whole Mediterranean feel or the wabi-sabi? Like, what are people asking for these days?
I think depends on personal preference lah, but I would say majority of the homeowners are going more towards minimalist, a bit of wabi-sabi, so something that is much more acceptable for most of the people. So if you're going with like a different kind of style, like the one that you talk about, not much of the people can actually accept it lah. But of course, it boils down to your own personal preference.
Is it good for resale value? Your minimalist?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
So I would say it depends on the next buyer lah. So in terms of minimalist, there's so much different kinds of ways to do it. So I mean, if you're going with like very empty house, in a way, no storage and everything, then of course it will definitely help you in selling the next house. But smaller houses nowadays lah, so I think most of the clients will actually want to have more storage to build up the whole place, and then so it depends.
Okay, it's very individual. And Germaine, I mean, what are you seeing now people asking more for?
I think generally the trend is steering towards a lot of like wabi-sabi, a lot of like warmth, something that feels very cozy. I think people are starting to feel like work is so hectic these days. When they come home, they really want it to feel like a sanctuary. So we get a lot of comments from owners being like, I just want my home to feel cozy, I want to feel relaxed when I come home. So I would say wabi-sabi is quite popular, but people these days are also leaning towards I would say modern contemporary, so that kind of lies between modern minimalism and modern luxury, so that is a nice balance for them as well.
Right.
Nice.
So as an interior designer, you settle everything in terms of, let's say, if I wanted a smart home, let's say, would you be able to design a smart home for me?
Yes, so we do work with like external vendors as well. So I would say that the entire renovation process, from the pre-planning to the final execution, it would be handled by the interior designer lah.
Okay.
You know how your car greets you? You can now have your home greet you as
exactly.
well. Yeah, that would be
Exactly.
cool.
I've always
like,
wanted
welcome home, master.
Yes.
You know? And then you'd be like, turn the lights
change the
on. And
message.
every day if you
Every day,
wanted. Yes.
yeah. But it's more than the, what do you call, just the message. I want to be able to do
You will
this,
be
and the
able
lights
to.
will come on,
and the air conditioner will be on by the time you come in.
Actually, we are slow to the game, no. This has been very popular for many years.
Of course
already.
it has,
Yes. I'm aware of that, but I think I'm finally ready for like a smart home. What sets Waken.com apart from the rest?
I think in terms of the quality that we use for our carpentry works, I think what we provide for customers are slightly different from what is out there in the market. So in terms like the solid plywood that we use are low emission formaldehydes, and then for our mechanism, the hinges, the drawer runner tracks, it's all product lifetime warranty. So there are a lot more different details in Weekend, but of course customers has to come to us to understand more about it lah. Definitely they won't be able to find all this information just by Googling, for example. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure many people have gone through renovations in their past houses. Like this house of mine is like the fourth the difference, I guess, right now, what I want is complete convenience. Like in the past, I remember going down to shop for certain things, like the shower and stuff like that. For you, Germaine, usually when you have your clients, do they just say, okay, Germaine, you just go and pick everything. You just let us know what you're picking. We don't need to go down with you. Do you have clients like that?
I think a small handful of them, but I do ultimately think that renovation is still a very collaborative process. So it's very important for the owners to actually be very involved, because what is nice to us, design is very subjective as well, so may not be nice to them. So we do like to involve them in the process, from like what you mentioned just now, like choosing of like furniture or maybe sanitary fixtures, for example. So this is a very collaborative process that we need to work together on.
But should you have lazy clients, no problem
like
also,
Glenn,
right?
No problem also.
Okay, no problem.
Just give us the budget and we'll work.
There you go. That's the most
It's
important
all about
thing.
the money.
Yeah. Just choose your design. I mean, but that is also something that I think Weekend.com, is very good at. As in, like, everyone sits down and they give you an idea of course, you got to have the floor plan and all that of the house, and then you guys can just create something to give them an idea of what it's going to look like after the renovation.
Like a rendering,
is done, right?
yeah.
So we do like 3D renderings. So even now we do have the options of doing like virtual tour. So you're able to kind of move around and see how the house is actually the space and the spatial planning
before you even touch any walls or
Yes,
go
correct,
through the
yeah.
doors,
Yeah,
right? Oh,
correct.
amazing. I
But
love
you have
that.
to go down first and take photos of the house. Right?
No, so what we mean is like at the 3D rendering stage, when we're actually doing the mock-up, we're able to make it into like a 3D tour where you're able to walk around to see what the renovated house will look like.
Yeah, they have to go down and see the space, yes, but they don't have to do anything before you can see what it's going to look like, which is cool.
Yeah, pretty
because then you
amazing.
can decide, okay, I want this there instead, right? Yeah.
Okay, we're going back on air one last time.
No, we're going
sorry.
back on TV.
Oh, we were on air just
That's
now.
right.
Lucky
Right
I
now.
didn't say anything.
Right now we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Derrius, you mentioned briefly about formaldehyde. I think this is an issue that's come up quite a bit in the news about renovations and all that. What can be done if somebody's already renovated their homes, and they've used, a contractor that's used high-level toxicity of formaldehyde? What can be done?
I think in the market there are some companies who they will actually do a spraying cleaning, so to actually bring down the level of the formaldehyde. But of course, that will not solve the root of the issue. So by going with E0 low formaldehyde soil plywood is definitely a better choice of it. It may be slightly a bit more expensive than what is in the market, but of course, in terms of health issues and everything, you have to look at it in a long term. So it's definitely worth the money to do it.
And you mentioned earlier lifetime warranty for your things like your hinges and stuff like that. I mean, lifetime warranty. You're going to be living in that home for many, many, many years.
Yes.
Your kids are going to be growing up. Your pets are going to be lying on the floor. Like, why wouldn't you want that, right?
Correct.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what people do when they renovate, right? They always want the best.
Of course, yeah.
For the house.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the event they sell the house, the next person that buys it is so lucky.
That's true.
You know
that's
what I mean?
true. So how do people pick?
People should ask this question.
What?
Like when they want to buy someone's house, who renovated this house? Then when they say Weekend.com, okay lah.
Done. We know we're safe.
Done.
Recently, also in the news, I don't know if you guys saw that whole influencer and interior designer company that were working together and all that. Like, question from WhatsApp. Maybe Glenn.
We got WhatsApp question.
We got a WhatsApp question. Like, I mean, have you guys faced anything like that before? Obviously not, because Waken.com has not been in the news for bad things, right? I just thought it was a bit ridiculous because you're both collaborating. Why should you shut anyone down like that, Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I've got are you going to answer that
done.
question? Yeah, okay. So Eddie has this question. Hi, I would like to ask your guests from Waken, is it advisable to renovate the entire house if I don't intend to move, or is it better to buy a house and do a renovation? How much are we looking at if the reno is massive? Thanks.
Did you understand
to
that?
renovate
Anybody?
the entire house if I don't intend to move. Oh, that means he plans to stay long term. That's what he's
Oh,
saying,
right.
right?
Okay.
So is it advisable to renovate the entire house?
If I don't intend to move out?
I think, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? And then, or is it better to buy a house and do a renovation?
It's kind of the same question.
Eddie,
but-
can you... Are you drunk or Eddie? Yeah, okay, please rephrase your question a little bit about... I mean, we'll try to make out what you're trying to say here.
Yeah, so basically advisable to renovate the entire house.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, if he's planning to stay on a long term,
Yeah.
then of course, you can decide on the materials and everything and the whole concept based on your own needs and your lifestyle.
What should people start with? Like, if I were to move into a new house that needs renovation, I would start with bathrooms and kitchen first.
Yeah,
Like,
so I
where
think
should
we
start?
always go from the perspective of looking at functional needs first. So re-renovating like bathroom, making sure that the kitchen is like safe to use or maybe fits your needs. So we look at these kind of areas more before we look at, let's say, the aesthetics of the home.
Right,
Yeah, so
yeah.
if we say that you're looking at a massive renovation, then of course we're looking at an overhaul. Then of course you can work on every single area. But if you're looking at focusing on parts of the renovation, then we always look at areas that are more functional first, or maybe areas that you spend more time within lah. So like your bedroom, for example. Yeah.
What if it's a multi-story house? Okay, do you start some people do floor by floor because they just want that mess to be left on one floor. Do you start bottom up or top down? What's the best
Actually,
way?
it's the same.
It's the same,
Okay,
really?
We start everything all together at one go.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
no,
it's
'cause-
easier that way lah. It's easier
But
that
I mean,
way.
some people have a limited budget, so they do like floors at a time, right? Because they want to do the rooms and all that.
Actually, if your house is so big, you got no budget.
No,
there's no
That's
limit
not
to the
true.
budget.
That's
It's true.
not
It's true.
They've spent everything on the house.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
these days, people don't even take loans for renovation. They just pay cash.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we do see a growing number of like owners who are forking out the cash from their
Cash.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like before, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, stand by. We're going on air one last time. One Republic with Counting Stars right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We have Germaine Neo and Derrius from Waken.com with us. Germaine is a senior interior designer, so if you're looking for an ID, just ask for Germaine at Waken.com. And of course, Derrius, manages everything. He's the team manager at Waken.com. One question each for the both of you. I've got a question for Germaine, and then, Angel, you can close with the last question for Derrius. Can AI replace or surpass you, Germaine?
Okay, I think it is very interesting for AI these days, and especially with the ability to generate images like your 3D renders and things like that. But ultimately, I think when we look at the role of an interior designer, we're looking at a huge range of like responsibilities. So from the pre-planning to be able to understand your needs for the home and not just give you like a cookie cutter kind of like a model, all the way to like the site planning and management. So I think the role of an interior designer is also very important to be able to have that interpersonal relationship with your owners, to be able to understand and adapt on site maybe when things kind of go wrong, or like they have any like lifestyle changes or things like that along the way. So I think that for now it's a little bit difficult for AI to replace us. But if only you're looking at something like maybe just doing up simple renders for your home, so just very simple stuff, then maybe AI could be useful for you as well.
Like just figuring out where you want your sofa to be.
Yeah,
and
just
stuff
like
like
simple
that.
things
Yeah.
like that.
No, AI will not replace the interior designers, just like AI will not replace radio presenters.
No, they won't. No, it won't. So, Derrius, just a final question. If someone is looking to renovate their home, should they be looking at IDs or contractors?
I would definitely say interior designers lah. I mean, the responsibility is different, and how we execute things, how we design the place to make sure it's much more functionality for the homeowners are a lot different from contractors. Contractors are more of whatever you provide them, they will just do it without consideration, without weighing the options or what can be a better options for the owner.
I've had a bad experience. with just a contractor.
So remember to come to weekend the next time.
Yeah, because y'all will 包个料, right?
Yes.
See, that's the most important thing.
So
for
basically,
peace
you're
of
saying
mind.
if I have a contractor and I just tell him to put a cupboard there, he's not going to ask me what I'm using it for. He's just going to
yes.
say, sure, I'll put a cupboard there.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
That is why you see so many news nowadays on all the funny things.
Miscommunication.
Yes,
and
correct.
timeline also will always be excuses.
Yeah, I
That's true.
suppose, yes.
That's true. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in and telling us more about Waken.com. Germaine Neo and Derrius Co, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you're thinking of renovating your home, make sure you go to Waken.com. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.